Coming up on this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, what a historic pro wrestling show we have for you on the Raw Report. Man, Randy Orton was the unthinkable. You won't believe what he did to get himself prepped for SummerSlam. Also, Retribution comes on Raw and will continue on the SmackDown Report and come on SmackDown, continue more mass chaos and terrorize the SmackDown superstar. And a whole bunch of implications for a championship battle royal that many people will be surprised that I didn't see that come. And on the NXT report, man, killer Kevin Karrion Cross delivers a non-voice message to champion Keith Lee that I didn't see coming. And on AEW, another thing I didn't see coming, Tag Team Appreciation, as FTR welcomes Tag Team from the past. They do something devastating. And hot topics, as we talk about, and a whole bunch of hot topics. The Team Dream accuser comes back. And also, Chris Jericho has an issue with Jim Cornette on something that we didn't think was it. And we paid tribute to a legendary superstar. All this and more in Pro Wrestling Show begins right now. Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of Pro Wrestling Show. Hello wrestling fans, this is Schedule Diggs once again back for the Pro Wrestling Show. Been on a break, been doing the lives, but due to some difficulties, we're back on schedule. So, forgive me for all that. Let's move on, let's get this thing going. First thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And thank you all for subscribing. Tell a friend, call a friend, subscribe. Subscribe is caring. We appreciate you here on the Pro Wrestling Show for watching. On a quick note, next week will be the SummerSlam predict the outcome for all the matches for SummerSlam. We're going to run down what's going on right now and get you up to speed on what's going on with SummerSlam. But first things first, let's get to the Monday Night Raw Ring Report. On the Monday Night Raw Ring Report, Raw kicked off with a bang where Dominic Mysterio signed the contract between him as being an official member of the roster, and Seth Rollins and him will meet at SummerSlam, and I guess one-on-one. Seth Rollins said that he will allow Dominic to use a kendo stick or any other weapon he wants at SummerSlam. So I guess stipulation right there is Dominic, you can use anything you want, but man, it was painful to see. But Rollins then went on to go against Humberto Carrillo and won the match by pinfall. But after the match, Rollins and Murphy attacked Dominic with kendo sticks for several minutes straight. And Dominic left this bruise, this mark that he has his work cut out for him at SummerSlam. He takes on Seth Rollins, and if Seth Rollins that vicious and that devastating, who knows what's going to happen between these two men at SummerSlam. Also, Raw Tag Team Champion Angelo Dawkins defeated Andrade, and Bianca Belair defeated Zelina Vega. Charlie Caruso wanted to get the idea scoop on what's going on with Montez Ford. Hawkins and Belair gave these situations going on, saying that Ford will be there, but something strange where Zelina Vega said she didn't poison Montez Ford, but could this be a heel turn in a way for Montez Ford and Bianca Belair turn on Angelo Dawkins? I can sense it, I can see it, but you never know. Because it looks like they're gonna drop the belts to Andrade and Garza. Also, Shelton Benjamin beat the United States champion Apollo Crews by pinfall by some interference from MVP and Bobby Lashley at ringside. Speaking of that, MVP will get his shot at the U.S. title at Crews one more time at SummerSlam. We'll see. Also, the Viking Raiders, Cedric Alexander and Ricochet was in an 8-man tag team match against Akira Tozawa and his Ninjas, and won by pinfall. Our true pet Tozawa, disguised as a ninja, and then won the 24/7 championship for the 38th time. So our true being a history maker. Also, Peyton Royce beat Ruby Riott by pinfall. And Raw Underground was Riddick Moss beat Kyle Boone. Asuka went against Bayley one-on-one by submission to earn a title shot against Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. Now this Oscar situation, it gets a little bit deeper. We'll talk about that on the SmackDown report. Oscar, she got a title shot against Sasha Banks, a rematch at SummerSlam. Also, another Raw Underground match was Orton won a fight by knockout by somebody. Khan won a fight and established low blows RK when he won his match. He grabbed him by the jugular and did some work on that. Also, Shayna Baszler made an appearance on Raw Underground, and she grabbed someone from ringside, brought them into the ring, and took her out, as well as two other girls who tried to pry on her, and she took them all out. She needed some competition, and she found it. Also, the main event was Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton won by pinfall. Then Randy Orton did something unthinkable. He brought Ric Flair into the ring and tell Ric Flair that he's an attention junkie, attention, what. He said Ric Flair didn't want to be in the spotlight, be by his side, and told Ric Flair to become a liability and doesn't respect him anymore. Flair spoke about he loves being there with Orton and wants to break his 16-time record, not John Cena's record, but his record. After Ric Flair had that life-threatening coma, he wanted to let everyone know he loves how much he cares of them. He's just Charlotte's dad and wants to be part of Orton's life. Orton did the unthinkable and hugged him and then gave him a low blow and then punned him when off camera the lights flickered as they've been doing lately. Drew McIntyre came out there to help and check on Flair as the show went off the air. So a lot of people are saying that Randy Orton did a despicable act by attacking Ric Flair. Randy Orton's been doing despicable acts for the past months with Christian, Big Show, and just by others. Now we know that this coming up on Monday on Raw, Randy Orton will meet face to face with Shawn Michaels and see how that's going to turn out to be. Some people are saying this could be a ploy that Randy Orton and Ric Flair to sucker Drew in and get the title off of Drew. We'll see. All right, that ends the Raw Ring Report. Let's move over to the SmackDown Ring Report. On the SmackDown Ring Report this week, it kicked off with Big E and John Morrison trying to, get it on and fight. But before the show started, Retribution came out there, and the match could begin. They went loose as they did last week. Backstage, the roster tried to find some commonality as a united front against a new faction. But The Miz and Morrison passed the blame to Big E, and King Corbin tried to call himself the leader. Sheamus said he ain't scared like them, like Big E is. So Big E was gonna get his match against Morrison later on the show. So we'll see on that. Now we can talk about Asuka. Made a surprise appearance on SmackDown. She competed in the Women's Battle Royal. Asuka went against the likes of Shayna Baszler, went against like Bianca Belair, went against like Tegan Nox, Shotzi Blackheart, Naomi, Lacey Evans. They all competed in the Battle Royal. But Asuka emerged victorious in the tri-branded Battle Royal and will face Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Now, Asuka could leave SummerSlam with 2 singles women's title belts. Man, Bayley and Sasha got their hands full, and Asuka could be Asuka 2 belts with the Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title. Wow. Yes, Sasha and Bayley better know that Asuka is the threat. For real. Also, Mandy Rose challenged Sonya Deville to a hair versus hair match at SummerSlam. So, Mandy saying that she's tired of being considered a prima donna or a diva, like the divas of the past, don't want to get physical. And Mandy saying she's going to prove Sonya wrong. She's going to do what she got to do. And Sonya later on accepted the challenge. So at SummerSlam, it's going to be a hair versus hair match between them two. Can you imagine Mandy Rose, who just got new locks of hair, being destroyed again, be bald? Can you see that? Or could you see Sonya Deville be the one bald-headed coming in there? I can probably see Sonya, but we'll see. Next week we talk about predict the outcome for SummerSlam. Also, Sheamus beat Shorty G by pinfall. Shorty G becoming King Barrett's, hitman or whatever you want to call it, after Matt Riddle, the King's Ransom. And you know how that goes and stuff. We'll see on that. Sheamus got his new little brawler gimmick. I guess he got from like an avatar or something. No. Also, the Intercontinental Champion AJ Styles implemented the phenomenal Intercontinental statistic systems to determine who will be worthy of a championship match against him. People have to earn the shot based on their merits. Based on the calculation, no one deserves an opportunity. Jeff Hardy shows up and throw his name in the hat by, like, he wants a piece of AJ Styles. AJ Styles declined, but Hardy knocked him out in the ring and signed his name in the permanent marker on the board. Only in pro wrestling make an official match as such. But apparently next week is gonna be a match. But it's like, why did the match ain't take place at SummerSlam or Payback? That make more sense. Build it up. I can see Payback, but you know how they go. Also, Grand Metalik beat Shinsuke Nakamura by pinfall. Now, Lucha House Party was stealing Nakamura and Cesaro's tag belts when they was trying to play around, but you know how they go. But Kalisto made his return and helped assist Metalik with the distraction. Lucha House Party coming back. Also, Shorty G apologized to Matt Riddle, but set him up to be attacked by King Corbin from behind. So Shorty G got a lot of explaining to do what he did to Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle ain't gonna take it lightly on that. Also, Big E defeated John Morrison by submission. Retribution laid waste backstage area post-match Sheamus nailed Big E with the Bro kick. Retribution did not get some traction, but we don't know who they are. We're getting some clues of who they might be, but it's sort of hard to detail in the tech and stuff. But we'll see on that note. Also, Braun Strowman came out with a new look, and he called out the Fiend. You can see Braun with the bald head. And Alexa Bliss came out there and insisted that she doesn't believe Braun doesn't give a damn about her. And he told everyone who comes in contact with the Fiend changes, including her. He's no longer around to be the clown she parades him around his beard. She decided to slap some sense into him, and he responded by picking her up, which that was wrong by Braun. I don't accept violence against women like that. He responded by picking her up, press slam her when the lights went out, and then came back. Bray Wyatt was in the ring instead of Strowman, who was appearing on the Titantron laughing. And I'm looking like, did we just see a double turn? Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, is now a face, and Braun Strowman is the heel. Okay. I guess it was from last week when stuff like that happened. So it gets more interesting, it gets more crazy, but we here at the Pro Wrestling Show, we got to see for ourselves. Alright, that is the SmackDown Ring Report. When we return, when they have the NXT Ring Report and the AEW Ring Report. But next is Hot Topics, where we get down to the rundown on what's going on the latest with anything in pro wrestling. We'll have this more after this. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Diggs here. Glad you're here. Hello, wrestling fans. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And thank you all for watching. Let's get to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics this week, man, Jim Cornette. Man, anything that Jim Cornette does turns into gold. Well, this past week, Cornette was banned from watching AEW by Chris Jericho. After Chris Jericho saying that Cornette criticized AEW more than WWE, and Cornette's response was that, hey, Chris, I'm watching it just because I'm getting paid to watch it. So it's weird, it's obvious, but hey, Jim Cornette gonna have his own. Like, why is AEW worried about Jim Cornette? Jim Cornette just a mouthpiece. But you know, they got to keep this going, and Cornette got less fall. AEW got more fall. So stick to worrying about your product, rather than one man and another co-host. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. But Cornette and them You know how that go. You know how that go. All right. Speaking of that, Kamala, the Ugandan giant, has passed away at the age of 70. Kamala, whose name was Kamala James Harris, not to interfere with the current vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris, but James Harris was a extraordinary figure. Kamala wrestled through Mid South. He wrestled through the Tennessee area, Memphis, particular, in the WWE and World Class. Kamala leaves a legacy that unprecedented. But Chris Jericho and Impact director Scott D'Amore helped foot the bill on Kamala's funeral expenses for his wife, and that's nice. Chris Jericho donated almost $5,000. Scott D'Amore donated about $2,500. So, you know, how that go? That was nice from Jericho to do that. So, super nice. Also, Dexter Lumis' injury. Dexter Lumis, who was supposed to be in the North American Championship title picture, has got out because of a foot injury. They don't know how severe it is for the moment and right now. So we wish Dexter Lumis the best and come back to speedy recovery. Also, Chris Jericho performed at some little concert. And he still did Dynamite. We'll talk about that. But he didn't quarantine himself. So not that good. Also, Raw Underground, the real reason, because I feel like Shane McMahon can bring some ratings and bring a product and him being a name and be different, uncensored, and gritty. And then two, they banned the strippers, which I guess the L2, the WCW Nitro stages or whatever. And then I think Raw superstar Liv Morgan defended Raw Underground dancers, and she got bashed for that. For you know what I'm saying, you're trying to regress, not progress. So, there you go. Also, ACH, who's been a controversial star of last year, has now joined New Japan Wrestling. So, ACH joined New Japan. Let's see ACH gonna do in New Japan. Get on Chinese folks' nerves than deal with American folks. Also, The Rock, who brought the XFL. Now sources are saying that Fox is interested in the XFL. I guess we'll see what this is going to lead to. It's looming coming up. Also, AEW is interested in Impact's Ethan Page. As you saw right there, Ethan Page has been one of the former World Tag Team Champions of the North. But what's his name? Page. You watch his vlogs. He has manifested physically, lost weight. So Ethan Page trying to get in shape and get fit. So who knows? They might get him. They might scoop him up. Somehow he might be a free agent by the end of the year. So we'll see. Also, 3 AEW stars have been let go: Bria Priestley, Jimmy Havoc, and Sadie Gibbs. So AEW doing their releases as well. And AEW just like a regular company. It was coming. It was inevitable. It was inevitable. It was coming. Also, been rumors and reports that Roland from Harper and Roland will join AEW and reunite with Brody Lee for some coat stuff. So, speaking of that, like next week, when we do to predict the outcome for something, we'll have the special show. We'll have the AEW Dynamite show as well for SummerSlam. What's going on with that? Velveteen Dream issues a statement. There's been rumors and reports of Velveteen Dream reporting. Come back, we'll talk about in the NXT report what's going on with that. But Velveteen Dream back and his accusers. A lot of people saying Velveteen Dream targeting young girls. So, there you go. Also, WWE drops PG era and going back to TV 14. Let's see. You're getting TV 14 again. When you got what's his name? Braun Strowman lifting on Alexa Bliss and doing that, and Ric Flair getting pumped in the head. Superstar punting old men, attacking, brutalizing women and elderly people. So it's getting there. Also, you're talking about Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley could fight and fought Raw Underground. We'll see what they're gonna do, what they're gonna lead up to. Cause Bobby Lashley look like he can be a cage fighter. And Rusev fired back at a fan who wants Lana to be fired. Lana didn't want nowhere. This Doom storyline she had with Lashley didn't work, so they had to put with Natalia as a best friend and a bestie. Lana did expose too much about her Rusev getting busy in the beach. And there was another rumor that Brock Lesnar's son could be joining WWE. Luke standing at 6'4", and he'd be next beast incoming. Also, China getting a Intercontinental Championship customized belt for winning the title nearly 20 years ago. So China getting remembered for that. All right, that ends Hot Topics. Let's move over to the AEW Ring Report. On the AEW Ring Report this week, man, AEW kicked off with the Young Bucks versus the Dark Order, Stu Grayson and Eva Uno. Well, the match was back and forth, but the Young Bucks kind of did what they could do, and the Young Bucks won the match. And the roll up. And then MJF showed mistreatment to his campaign workers. And MJF came out there. He talked about Jon Moxley is not the rightful champion. He should be. He's getting on contendership to make sure that Dictator John doesn't run AEW like he normally do. But Moxley plays music, and MJF sent his goons to go out to where he was at. Moxley knew. Moxley came out of nowhere and DDT MJF. And MJF will meet Jon Moxley for the World Championship at All Out September 5th. MJF with that little political thing. So we'll see. Also, Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy can take their rivalry to the next level. And Sammy Guevara get Matt Hardy beat down and put him through a table. And we'll see on that. Also, the TNT title was on the line as Cody Rhodes defending the title against Scorpio Sky. Cody Rhodes had the American Nightmare family. Cody and Scorpio Sky doing the game of upsmanship during the match. But at the end, Cody won with the crossroads. Broly appeared on the screen holding a version of the old TNT title and says that next Saturday, Cody would put some respect on it and he would take the title. He owned the old title and said it would be so much kind of giving back the old title. And then, too, it's been this challenge been going on. We got knowledge here. But Cody's been challenged by YouTuber and fellow wrestler Hannibal. That Cody fears Hannibal. That's what Hannibal's claiming. So Hannibal wants a shot at the TNT title and just want a piece of Cody Rhodes. I don't know how this feud manifested itself, but this is what it is. Also, Adam Page and Omega Kingdom defending the World Tag Team titles against Jurassic Express against Marco Stunt. It was a good, decent match. It made Jungle Boy Jack Perry look like a bona fide star in the future. Adam Page and Ken Omega, like the mechanics, and they did what they do best, and it was back and forth. It was a good, real instant wrestling match. But Page and Omega still retain the titles with the last call. So, also, FTR and the Young Bucks host tag team appreciation with the past tag teams from the mid-'80s. Orton, Tully, the Brainbusters, Four Horsemen, and the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky and Robert. And they try to appreciate them by putting them over, saying, the counter cross, like the Bucks are considered now as the Rock and Roll Express on today. And Orton and Tully are with FTR as they consider today. Orton Tully gave a speech. Orton gave a speech saying that FTR is the best tag team, which they are. They won the WWE Tag Team Gold. Now they got to get the AEW Tag Team Gold and then go of roster promotion. But Tony Blanchard took it upon himself to call, attention to Arn, what Arn did to him, and he wouldn't forget about that. And They had a blowout about that, and they walked out. The former Brain Busters, Ricky and Rob was still in the ring. All of a sudden, FTR did a despicable act, and Ricky and Robert, they attacked the Rock and Roll Express and gave Ricky Moore a spike pile driver. And the Young Bucks came out there, and Omega Page came out there. Looked like Page got his heart broken, but that's what they want. They want the gold. They want the belts. It's just plain and simple. Also, Mike Chioda makes an appearance, and I didn't expect, you wouldn't even thought Mike Chioda would have been in AEW. Mike Chioda came to AEW to referee the Cody match, and he was gonna count it down the middle. So you know how they go. And he did so with that fact. And Chris Jericho said that if he wants his job, he better do the right thing. So what that means. Also, he or she, the AEW Women's Champion, went against Helen Monroe. He or she beat Helen Monroe quick. Helen Monroe, who's been a fixture in California wrestling as of late, been on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, came to AEW. I know she fly all the way to Jacksonville. She did. Jake Roberts getting elderly abused by what's his name, Lance Archer. Archer's ripping up shirts like everybody dies on the back. That was crazy and bizarre. Also, the main event was Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. If Jericho wins the match, Orange has to pay $7,000 for the jacket he ruined. Orange attacks Jericho, lays him out with lefts and rights, hits the shoulder punch over flying shoulder. Orange Cassidy clothesline Jericho over the top rope, then hit the slingshot plaster. And it was a good, decent match. Many people who doubt Orange Cassidy would doubt that, but you can't doubt this man. I was like, what is he gonna get over with that? The TNT people love him, the fans love him. I kind of, warming up to him. I'm like, wow, this dude got more charisma than you never know. He's like a James Dean of wrestling. And he won the match by pinfall and beat Chris Jericho. Jericho put over Orange Cassidy, and that's what you should do in wrestling. You put over new, young, talented stars that's coming up. So, there you go. All right, that ends the AEW Ring Report. Told you like next week on the predicted outcome for next week for SummerSlam. We'll have the AEW Ring Report as well. All right, let's move over to the NXT Ring Report. On NXT this week, man, NXT started off with Karrion Kross, the number one contender for the NXT Championship, defeated Danny Burch by submission. Keith Lee came out there, and challenged Kross to sign his name on the docket and make that match official. Then Lee, I think Scarlett took it and they had Kross sign and to make it official. Scarlett gave it back to Lee in the ring at the ring. When Keith Lee opened that thing, fire came out. He was hitting the face with a fireball, and I was like, what in the world just happened? It took everybody by surprise. It took me by surprise. I'm like, Karrion Kross means business. Scarlett means business. These actual things, they serious. Also, Drake Maverick versus Killian Dane was a no contest as the Undisputed Era attacked both for some reason. Adam Cole didn't cut a promo daring Pat McAfee to come to NXT next week, which Pat McAfee himself. I don't know what they're getting with that. Cruiserweight champion Santos Escobar defeated Tyler Breeze by pinfall. Fandango came out of the match, tried to fight out the faction. Isaiah Swerve Scott came out there to run him off, so Swerve won his championship match against Escobar. Also, Mia Yim defeated Indian Hallway by submission. Bronson Reed defeated Dane Priestley by pinfall. Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez defeated Kaylin Carter and Casey Conran by pinfall. And Rhea Ripley and Shotzi Blackheart attacked Aaliyah and Martinez after the match. So expect a tag team match between them two in NXT 30. And finally was a triple threat match with Cameron Grimes, Winged Garcia, and a mystery opponent. The mystery opponent turned out to be Velveteen Dream pinned Kushida for a spot. Well, Cameron Grimes pinned Kushida. He pinned Kushida for a spot for the ladder match for North American Championship. After the match, Velveteen Dream frustrated and attacked Kushida out of nowhere. Dream will face Finn Balor next week for a second chance match, as well as Ridge Holland against Jonathan Garro. So, a lot of things picking up speed here in wrestling this week. And man, you got to go from Ric Flair to Alexa Bliss to Velveteen Dream, and then the FTR. Wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We love it. We love it here. That's what wrestling is. It just picks up your interest again. All right, that ends the NXT report. That ends the whole show for this week. For me, Kendra Dick saying so long. We'll see you next week for Predict the Outcome for SummerSlam. Get the whole details and rundown next week. I'll be your host. See you later.